Hey, everyone. Welcome to another show. I'm excited about this topic because it's something that I feel like it's something that we specialize in. It's something that we believe in to our core is that you should be able to lose weight or hit your goal weight and not gain all your weight back. I don't know if we've talked about this openly too much. I don't think I've done a full show on it. So, this is going to be a good one. Let me know in the comments if you are here with us live, and if you're watching the replay, let us know if you're watching the replay as well. It's always nice to know who's in here hanging out with us. And then these shows are always open and interactive. You're welcome to ask questions throughout, and I'll ask you questions. Hopefully, you answer. You may be listening as a podcast on Exploring Mind and Body. That's our nationally syndicated radio show and podcast. So if you would like to this in audio version only, then you can head over to exploringmindandbody.com, or you can check out any of our any of your favorite podcasting platform, and our show will be on there. We have Shelly's in here, Annette's in here, Nadine, Michael, Rhonda. Awesome. Thank you guys for jumping in here live. This is a really important topic because the issue is that so many people are maybe not even yo-yo dieters. So let's put yo-yo dieters in here, but then lose weight and gain it all back. So let's dive in here, and I really want to get to some I really want to offer you guys some substance here so you can understand what it's like to lose the weight. And that's not just what this is about. This is the lifestyle that you want. You want to have your end goal being that different person, which is terrifying. I'm going to talk about, but I want to take you through this. I wrote down some notes. Morning, Mom. Karina's in here. Gloria's in here. Okay, so the very first thing that you need to understand is weight loss programs are meant to keep you on their programs forever. Like, they're meant to offer you short-term results and keep you coming back. That's all there is to it. So when you're looking for a program, I guess if I could take a step back and say, most people can't do this on their own. I don't like the word can't, but let's just get straight to the point here. Most people aren't able to do this on their own, right? Like, many people we have talked to or that have started working with us, they have been trying for 20, 30, 40 years to try to see the results that they're looking for. And often, in most cases, we work with women, specifically 40 to 60. So they've spent their lifetime struggling, buying the equipment, yo-yo dieting, fad dieting, or they've been doing it on their own for so long and can't figure out why. Like, here's the thing: is like, to take the accountability off your shoulders is that it's not your job. Like, you're probably good at something else, being a mother, a grandmother. You're good at as a realtor. Your job, whatever it is, you're probably very good at it if you've been doing it for a long time. So the reason why you're not good at figuring out how to live a healthy lifestyle, much in part because the society doesn't completely allow that, from grocery stores to fast food joints, even health food stores and supplementation. Like, it's all junk. There's a very small percentage of it that's good and clean and healthy and morally right. So it's important to understand that that's not your job. You haven't spent years of your life trying to, and not just you spend years trying to figure it out on your own, but like learning that, studying it, teaching people how to do it. So it's the same thing with finances. You hire a financial advisor if you're not really good with finances. Maybe you hire a business coach if you're not really sure how to take your business to the next level. With your health, you hire someone, and I'm not talking about a doctor. Most people just go to their doctor, and their doctor doesn't really know what to do. Their doctor knows how to prescribe medication. That's what their job is. Well, people go to their doctor for supplement advice. They're not schooled in supplementation. They go there for nutrition. Well, they took a very minimal schooling, unless they're holistic, naturopathic. That's different. But your conventional doctor, that a lot of people are like, oh, I'm going to go check with my doctor about my magnesium, and I'm like, it's not a pharmaceutical. Like, they're not going to know about it. So you have to find the right people to help you out, I guess is what I'm saying. So, and I know that's a tough pill. Pardon the pun. Is that a pun? That's a tough pill to swallow, to be like, don't go to your doctor for health advice. I'm not telling, actually, you know what? I'm not telling you that. I'm just telling you that if you want more accurate advice, you go to someone who specializes in that. Your doctor, in most cases, specializes in medication. That's why you go there. It's the same thing with supplements. You don't go to Costco or Walmart to buy your supplements. They don't specialize in supplements. They specialize in the cheapest the cheapest products possible, so everyone can afford them. Costco, they have better quality products, but in bulk, so you can buy more for less up front, right? So you go to someone that can actually help you with what you're looking for. And I think a lot of people aren't doing that. They're like, I'm going to do it on my own. I'm going to go talk to my doctor. I'm going to get YouTube videos, like free videos. That's why it doesn't work. We got Carrie's in here, Natalie's in here, Shannon, Amanda. Thank you guys for joining live. Okay, so if you join, the problem is a lot of people are looking for the quick fix, right? Like if you join a program that offers you short-term results and they have the pills, potions, powders, and promise you the world, you're going to get short-term results. So you have to be looking for a program that offers long-term results, which in most cases means you have to put in more time and effort to make that happen. So look at, for example, you could look at Isogen. I'm gonna pick on Isogenics. I don't care. I'm gonna pick on my Isogenics. So it's like take 2 shakes a day and have 1 meal, right? Like I don't agree with their ingredients in particular. And then on top of that, you're calorie depriving yourself. So I don't know what's in their shakes. I'm guessing like 100 calories, 120 calories in 1 meal. So of course you're going to lose weight. Is that sustainable? Of course not. So if you're having 1 meal, if it's a clean meal, it's probably 500 or 600 calories. And then you're having 2 shakes a day, you're under 1,000 calories. You're starving yourself. So you're going to lose weight. But what happens when you stop taking those shakes and then you start adding more food? Or what happens if you can't afford to just live off shakes? Or I think Jenny Craig is like, just packaged foods. Like people come to us and they're like, so tired of eating packaged foods. And I'm like, I don't say this because I don't want to be rude, but I'm like, what did you think was going to happen but we don't think that, right? It's not long term. We're thinking of short term results. How can I see the most results possible in a short amount of time, right? Without spending much money. So that's it. That's the mindset that's going to keep you yo-yo dieting, losing weight, and gaining it all back. Good. And good morning, Michelle. So that's the mindset that you need to have before you get into a program or before you look for help or before you decide what it is that you want. If you're taking action towards short-term results, you're going to get short-term results. And that's going to equal yo-yo dieting. If you join a program and you say, hey, you know what? I'm only going to be in here for 21 days. What's going to happen after the 21 days? With our program, we started to do, we had a 6-week program. And then we started to look at people that were coming in and leaving right after 6 weeks, like not even considering moving on because their mind frame is very short. They never look past it in the future. Most of them didn't look past the 6 weeks. They're just like, I just want a short-term fix. That's it. Vacation, wedding, beach body, and then they're gaining it all back. When our people, like if people come to us, gain a bunch of weight or lose a bunch of weight, quit, and then gain it all back, I feel like a failure. I feel like we have failed our clients, which is why that's not our goal. Our goal is to show you sustainable results. You can keep your results forever. That's our goal, and that's how I measure my success. Not how many clients we have, not how much money's in the bank account, how many people we can actually help make changes in their life that will last. So you have to, if that's what you want, you have to look for a company that offers that because not very many people do. And that's the same thing as like you can look at keto, for example. Keto has its benefits, and the reason keto was found, like keto was used, if you're not sure like the history of keto, it was used because for epileptic children, and they found less episodes when they were on a keto diet. And then they realized like, hey, this was actually dropping weight very quickly. So then they started, there's more research around it, of course, but that's where it originated, it rooted. And then from there it was like, okay, you can actually lose weight on a very, you can lose weight in a very short amount of time on keto because you're cutting out all the junk. You're cutting out all the processed foods, the carbs, the the nonsense you shouldn't be having anyways, right? So it's very clear like that could work for you. The problem is that doesn't work for very many people long term. And it does, like, it does show other health benefits for long term results. But again, the problem is that most people aren't able to stick with that as a lifestyle. So the problem with that is they see the results. They'll drop 20, 30, 40 pounds in a short amount of time. And then they get off it. Then they go to family, or they go on vacation, or they get tired of not eating. And then they gain their weight back. And what happens? Their mindset says, I can go back to keto and lose a bunch of weight. So you see this like perpetual vicious cycle over and over again of people that spend their lifetime in like fasting and keto and never really find that sustainability for their lifestyle that makes them feel great and look great for long term. So that's the problem with that. And the same thing with Ozempic. Like a lot of people, like, I feel like it's a horrible thing. I honestly do. Like, it's great if you have diabetes, but if you look at people that are taking it for weight loss alone, is that, like, what is it teaching you? It's not teaching you anything. So you have to pay for that for the rest of your life, or when you can't afford it, you gain your weight back, or it offers that short-term result like, hey, I can take this medication, lose a bunch of weight, and then, I don't know, you can't afford it, so then you go off it and you gain your weight back, and then you can make some more money, you can afford it again. So what are you doing? We're back to that yo-yo, that it's like, I would call it a potion powder pill category, where you're not seeing the sustainability that you want. So you're in the wrong vehicle. Like, the vehicle that you're driving is not going to take you where you want to go. You're in a Pinto, and you need to be in a I don't know. You need to be in a Lincoln if you want to get to where you're going. Whatever it is whatever you have to decide, right? Decide what you want. If you just want short-term results, then just accept that. Just accept that and take your short-term results. But I see so many people come to me like, I lost a bunch of weight. I can never keep it off. I'm bound. I'm like, okay, well, let's create a plan to offer some sustainability in your life. Good morning, Ray, Teresa, Sandra, Donna. So, okay, I'm looking at my notes here. Let's see. Okay. So here's what happens is, if you are to join a real program, like if you were to join a program like we offer, or what I would consider a well-rounded, full-on program, and not talking about like a gym membership. Gym membership in most cases is in short term as well, because you sign up for the gym early January, you're inspired, you go to the gym, and you probably don't. Most people don't hire a personal trainer. If they do, it's once or twice a week for affordability, and then they stop doing the personal trainer and they kind of lose their way, not sure what to do. There's no meal plans, there's no support. So and I'm not saying like the gym is very good. Again, you could look at Ozempic, you could look at keto. Like, those are great for a very small amount of people. But the vast majority of people go to a gym and they feel like a failure because they don't see results. But in most cases, like, a conventional gym isn't necessarily set up for your success. It's set up so they can get you in there, get you to pay their membership fee and make money, right? Like, that's in my opinion. Good morning, Lori. Good morning, Angela. Is it the Angela show today? Angela, I don't have you on video, so you can't jump in here. We did a group coaching call last night, or a live Q&A within our MAP program, and Angela took over. Okay, so when you're looking at a well-rounded program, here's what happens is that you have coaching, right? So you should have coaching. So you have coaching and you show up for your coaching calls. And then you should, this is my opinion, of course, you should have a private, like a community of people, like-minded people, because there's no better way to feel like you're a part of something, or to feel like you're not alone or so isolated. So you have your private community, you have a coach. From there, usually when you sign up, you're inspired. Maybe you set goals. There's something that you want to work towards. You follow a plan. You complete your workouts. You should have a meal plan in there as well. So there's a lot to it. It's not just, like, some people come to me and like, I just need help with workouts. And I'm like, no, you don't. Like, just workouts aren't going to get you the results you want. And I'm not short term, so I'm not going to give you a workout program and say, here you go, off on your own. That's not what we do. We do the whole picture because that's the way we help you see sustainable results. That doesn't mean that you have to work with us forever. That means you start with us, and then we move you down the pipeline until you're ready to go off on your own. And I'm going to explain that with you here. So what do we have here? Okay, I knew something was going to come up here. Laurie says Angela can still type LOL. Yes, she can. Rhonda says the Angela show rocks. Shelly says she was very good. I watched the replay. Angela says I'll let you have the show today. Morning, Amy. And Karina says I'll watch the replay. Okay, so what did my notes say here? You get closer to your goal, or you hit your goal, and then your mind says I'm done. Okay, so here's the thing, is that you're doing all the things that you should be doing to work your way towards your goal. So let's just say we'll oversimplify and say it's a goal weight, which is why most people come to us. In phase 1, we'll put our clients in the weight loss stage. So their calorie count, their meal plans, their workouts are all based around losing weight to help them get to their goal weight, right? So we come up with a plan so they can work towards getting these. So these are the steps. These are the action steps. So it's very different. When I asked on social media, I say, hey, what's a goal you're working towards? And someone says, oh, 3 workouts a week. And I'm like, but that's not a goal. A goal, that's an action step towards a goal. And that's what you guys are missing out on. Many people are missing out on is you don't have that one thing that wakes you up in the morning, that you're emotionally connected to, that's inspiring. All you think of is, I have to get up and work out in the morning because that's your goal, but that's an action step. If you have a goal that you're emotionally connected to, that's where the inspiration comes from. And that's the missing piece so many people forget about. So you have to have something that you're working towards. So when it comes to your goal weight, so let's say you're like, I want to lose 30. Let me know in the comments, where are you guys at? Let me know in the comments how much weight you would like to lose. Would you like to lose 5 pounds, 50 pounds? Where are you at? So if you want to lose, let's say you want to lose 40 pounds. We put you on a program that walks you step by step on how. Our program is called a MAP program, Metabolism Accelerator Program. It's a map to your success. So a step-by-step process to get you to your goal weight. But that's only half the battle. We have to then teach you how to keep that weight off forever if that's what you want. Again, and that's what we hope, that people come into our program and like, this is what I want. Other times, other programs, I'll get you to your goal weight and then you're off to the next cruise, gain all your weight back, and then you got to find a new program because you kind of lost interest in that one that showed you the results anyways, right? So Lori says 16 pounds, Amanda 45 to 50, Nadine says 7, Shelly 30, Sandra 50 to 60, Rhonda says 40. Did you say 39 to 40? Very specific. I would like to either lose 39 or 40 pounds. I like it. Okay. So that's the thing. Thank you for sharing that. So once you get to that goal weight, you're only halfway there. And the problem is, like, if you want to keep it off, and I'm going to assume you're here because you want to learn how to stop yo-yo dieting. So you get to that goal weight and then things change. So it's not your weight anymore that you're looking forward to. So just consider this for a second. Your whole life, you've been working towards a number. I gotta lose 3 pounds. I gotta lose 5 pounds. I gotta lose 20 pounds. But what happens when you hit that goal weight? Nobody thinks about that. And the problem there is, if you're only measuring your success by your weight, you're setting yourself up for failure. And for me, I'm looking at the long game. I'm looking at the future. How do we get you to keep your results forever? So people are very confused when I say, okay, if you only weigh yourself as a measure of success, you're gonna eventually fail when you hit your goal, right? Because then everything stops. And here's my next notes. What happens when you hit your goal weight is sometimes people are like, oh, I don't need this program anymore. I can figure out the rest on my own. And I'm like, you're about to get into new waters that you've never experienced before, and you think you can get there on your own. Like, we brought you here Like we brought you to halfway through your destination and you're jumping off the boat. You're like, I can swim back the rest of the way. But you've never been there before, so how can you stay there? And that's the problem, is that so many people have got to that goal weight or close to, and then they revert back. So you have to find that path to keep you moving forward at that goal weight. And I know, so this is forward thinking. So a lot of times people are like, oh, well, I haven't even got to my goal weight, so I don't need to worry about that. Yes, you do. I'm here to tell you, you need to look past your goal weight for the next stage, because if you're not prepared for that next stage, when you hit it, you're not going to know what it looks like. You're not going to know how to handle it. You're not going to know how to mentally stick. Like, it's not sticky. You're not going to stay in that lifestyle. You're going to revert back. And let me tell you what happens. So what happens is you start to become a different person, and that's terrifying. And maybe you like the person that you are, or which most cases we don't, but maybe we like that person, or maybe we can't picture what a different person looks like. So here, and let me explain what this looks like. So you have more energy than you ever had. You don't have any digestion issues. You have got off medication. You're sleeping. So you're not complaining about not sleeping. You're probably not hanging around with all those people that are like, I can't sleep. You're talking about your meds. Like, you're not driving to the pharmacy to pick up your meds. You're not driving to the doctor every week because you don't need to anymore. And that may sound great to a lot of people, but that's terrifying, because that's your identity. That's who you've become over the years, in a slowly step-by-step process of how you've created your life around possibly complaining or negativity. And that's why we start off all of our group coaching sessions with, what win can we celebrate? What are you grateful for? So we're changing your mindset. And then you hear other people in the room all grateful for something, no matter how big or small. So we're working on the mindset part of this, not just the physical part of it. And the mindset plays a big role in it. So what you're doing is you're becoming more active. Like, you're becoming a more active individual. And the problem here is that you start to separate from possibly family, from friends that aren't so positive, or the ones that are in the same situation that you were in, but you're progressing in life. So the thing here is that it's scary and terrifying, because you're like, oh, this is my family, these are my friends, I love them, which is great, but all you have to do is create a little bit of space, which you'll do naturally by being active, by going to the grocery store or buying healthier foods. That's going to cause a little bit of space in your life, and that space is scary. That space is scary because we're used to being closely connected with a pet, with a parent, with a family member, and you're creating space between them. Maybe not a pet. And you're like, what am I doing? Where they're terrified. You know those people that go from relationship to relationship, they never have any space, they don't have any clarity, they are just terrified being alone, so they always have to be closely connected with someone. But if you create that space in your life, you'll allow other people to come into your life that are more positive, that are more active, that are more upbeat, and that's what you need. So you need that you need that community that I'm talking about, which could be online, could be a fitness class, whatever it is. You need that community to thrive in as you become that different person. So I know that's heavy, I know that's a bit deep, but that's how I'm talking about, is you're slowly becoming a different person. And if you don't picture that, if you don't know what your ultimate vision looks like past your goal weight, you go back every time, and that's what we see. Lost 40 pounds, lost 80 pounds, back. Why do you think the biggest loser, like whatever percentage, like a huge percentage of people lose all that weight and go back? Because they go back to their lifestyle with the same friends, the same mindset, the same environment, and then of course the same actions. They go back to eating the way they used to eat. They go back to sitting on the couch scrolling, for example, like instead of going for a walk in the evening. So you have to embody that and understand that that's okay. You create that space and allow more people to come in that align with the direction that you want to go. How are we doing? Is that hitting home for anyone? Does that sound like something reasonable that you might be able to do? Dee's in here, Sasha's in here, Alan's in here. Okay. So what I see happens is when people start to hit their goal weight or even get closer to their goal weight because they're short-sighted, they haven't never thought of past that, they stop doing the things that have got them to that goal weight. And the other aspect of that is they either they hit their goal weight and quit completely altogether, like great, hit it, I'm done, or as they get closer and closer, they kind of like fade back a little bit, and it's like it's part like, oh, maybe I don't have to put in much effort because I'm very close, and because of that self sabotage, self worth, I may not be worth this. I don't even know what that picture looks like, so I'm gonna go back to what I know. I want to go back to what's comfortable. So we see people slowly canceling their coaching calls. Oh, I got too busy. I can't show up. They slowly stop showing up to group coaching calls. That's why we try to get in front of that and say we get all of our people to sign a document and do a video that says, I will not ghost on my coach. Because when you disappear from your calls, from your community, what do you, like, we've been doing this for over 12 years, full time. Like, what do you think we're thinking? They're like, oh, we just forgot about you when we hear from you every day or 3 times a week, and then we hear from you every 2 weeks. Like, we know that you're taking a step back in the wrong direction. And there's not, I mean, that's what we're there for, to offer accountability. So I can say, hey, let's jump on a call. But if you don't show up for the call, or I say, hey, jump back in the group, start posting your food, start posting your exercise, get more involved. That's why. And I'd imagine, I don't know if I haven't explained this well enough, but we have a good handful of our members here in our MAT program, and I want you guys to understand that it's like the more steps that you take backwards, the harder it's going to be for you to maintain that goal weight that you've worked so hard to get. So it's the same thing like a meal, like, oh, I followed the meal plan a little bit, like follow the meal plan ish, when what got you there was following the meal plan exactly. So just because you're closer to your goal weight or hit your goal weight, you still have to follow it exactly if you want to get to the next stages. I feel like it's, I don't know, do we have any gamers here? Most of our audience is women. And I certainly welcome men. We just naturally attract more women. And I asked on my page, like, who plays video games? Or I said, whose husband plays video games? And there's a lot of women that was like, I do. I played video games when I was younger. I haven't for years, but sometimes I miss it. I'm just kidding. Okay, so I'm talking about it gives me like, you get to different levels, like when you're playing video games. Maybe your kids are playing video games and they get to one level and they're here and they're playing at this level, and then they get to the next level and they play at that level. So this is how I picture what we're doing. Like phase one is to get you have to financially commit. Like those people that are looking for free stuff never see results because you're not emotionally connected to your result if you're not financially connected. For whatever reason, that's just the way it works. We value money more than time, unfortunately, and we should value time, in my opinion. So these are different levels. Like you need to financially commit. That's all there is to it. From there, you need to have that mindset, like, I'm in this for the long haul. So that's why we don't do 6-week programs anymore. We do working on a 14-day challenge, just to give some people a taste of what we do. But for our full program, it's 6 months to a year, and that's a short amount of time. You have to understand that people are like, whoa, a year, and I'm like, how long have you been struggling on your own? And they're like, 30 years. And I'm like, so you're going to take 1 year and put in effort, and then you're going to go back to what you were doing? And they're like, huh, I never thought of it that way, right? So at any rate, you need to commit, like fully commit to not yo-yo dieting before you get in. And then from there, you take the steps of having a coach or mentor. You have nutrition, you have exercise, you have the whole picture. And what we've done is we've taken out all the obstacles. You don't know how to meal plan? You don't know how to grocery shop? Here's your grocery shopping list. You don't know how to plan your workouts? Here's an app with all your workouts. So if you have that set up for you, you have less of a chance to fail and a better chance to succeed. But moving back to where I'm at, and like we slowly take steps back. Like you're taking steps back, like not following the meal plan like you should. Maybe not getting all your workouts in, but most of them. Or you start to do part of the program. Like I'm pretty good with workouts, I don't need to do nutrition, or I'm not gonna do nutrition anymore. Like, you know what I mean? All I'm saying is that you need the full picture of what got you to where you're going, and we see it all the time when people start slowly scaling back, and that's because we haven't come up with more goals to work towards in the future other than the scale, and we haven't had that mindset of like, okay, what does self-sabotage look like once I start getting close to my goal weight and taking steps back and reverting back to where I was, based around self-worth and like why you actually want to get to where you want to go. Okay. So it's what my these are my notes here. So weight slowly starts to creep back in. You start to develop your old habits of, instead of working out in the morning, I'm gonna sleep in. So you're not getting to all your workouts. Like, we know that we're more energized getting up earlier. We know that we have more inspiration. We know that working out in the morning offers much more benefits throughout the day, but we just kind of stop doing those things. We get away from that positive mindset of that support group, of that gratitude, of showing up for the group calls. Like, that's all what got you to where you're going. And then think about, you're going to eliminate all that. And don't get me wrong, you don't have to do these things forever, but in phase two, I'm going to explain that here shortly. In phase two, you start to replace those areas. So as you move forward, you find more positive people in your life. Like, our people in our group, I encourage them to. So, like, when you look at a Facebook group, I feel like there's obviously never been an explanation on how to use a Facebook group. But when people get into a Facebook group, they're like, what's in it for me? What can I get out of this? If I don't get any benefit out of this, I'm out of here. It's a waste of my time. Like, it's all ego-centered, right? But if you go into a Facebook group, like, this is what we ask of our people. When you get into a Facebook group, into our private group, think for a second how you can give. Like, think how you can benefit the group. How can you make this a better place? And some people don't want that. They're like, you know what? And so maybe they're not a good fit for what we do, but they're like, you know what? I want to do my own thing. Not interested in other people. And I feel like that's probably a different type of person, to be 100% transparent. We're not looking for every single person we come across to join our program. We have a very specific audience that we attract, that we want to work with every single day. So I'm okay with saying, if this isn't you, it's probably not the best fit. But you go into a group and you post and you're like, hey, I had this meal, it was great. So you offer inspiration, you offer motivation, you're giving. Someone puts up a post and you comment, great job. Like, that's what we want to embody. We want to, and we're growing and we're learning and we're teaching. So I'm not saying what we do is perfect, but that's the reason being, is that people jump in and they only want what they can get out of it. But the more you give, the more you get back in any situation. Like, we encourage our people to talk with other people in the group. Like, if you want to make connections, if you want to have better relationships, if you want to surround yourself with positive people, you have to take that step forward and start those conversations. Send someone a private message, comment on their post, tell them how good they look, how well they've been doing. Why not encourage? If you want that encouragement, you have to offer that encouragement too. And too many people are like, oh, I don't know if they'd appreciate it, or I don't want to be rejected, or I'd rather just hide in my cocoon and not spread my wings. Like, but you have to decide what you want, right? If that's what you want, it's the same thing with money, like finance. It's like, money is just energy. If your energy is like, if you're like tight, don't want to spend a dollar, if if you have a couple bucks that you could spare, you see a homeless guy and you say, here's a couple bucks, like, or 50 cents. But our mindset is so based around lack and missing out, like fear, like FOMO, like fear of missing out. Like, that needs to change if you want the circumstances in your life to change. I feel like that's a lot. Did I say hello to Deanne? Lori says yes, for sure, because I'm there and need to look ahead. Yes, everyone does. Thanks, Lori. Darlene's in here, and Rhonda says, yes, I would love to get to the new me, toned and feeling good about myself again. Awesome, Rhonda. Let's see, what else do I have? I don't have too much more. I'm going to keep you guys for maybe 10 minutes. So for for the steps that you need to take, you have to understand that what got you there will keep you there. But I love this quote, and it's what got you here won't get you there. So I suppose that sounds like a bit of like contradicting myself when I say you have to continue to take those steps, but you need to take that a step further and look at that overall vision. So instead of being like as you get into the maintenance phase or as you get into keeping that weight loss, your identity changes, your mind changes. You have different conversations. You may not even know it. Like you're having different conversations. You're using different words. I'll tell you, like some of our clients, when they start working with us, they are literally in a dark room and their head is down and I can like hardly see them and I can hardly hear them. But and then they like dark circles under their eyes, like don't look healthy, don't look vibrant. And now I actually see the progressions and it's absolutely amazing. And I actually record a lot of our coaching calls for a number of different reasons, but one of them is would like to show our clients their progression of what they look like from being in the dark, from mumbling and not speaking clearly, from being clearly sad to lights on, looking bright, vibrating, speaking with confidence. You could see some of our clients' progress pictures of how like their first picture is they're kind of unsure, their heads down, they're not in like a what's like a confident position. And then you see weeks go by, months go by, and they just they embody something completely different. So that's something that you would work towards as you move through the phases and as you take steps closer to your goal. So it's fine. Like if you want to focus on weight loss, great. But once you get to that weight loss, you need to have a plan for the next level. So what's the plan for the next level is probably a different goal. Like that needs to be, a lot of our people say, I actually want to start running. I haven't ran in years. Maybe that's going on a hike. Maybe you want to start canoeing, but you feel like you're too heavy to fit into a canoe or I don't know the difference, a kayak. That's what I'm looking for. So you have to figure out, and it's difficult. It's hard. Like we've been going over with our private group coaching calls, we've been going over proper goal setting. So proper goal setting is one, and then how to achieve that goal and taking steps towards that by addressing obstacles, taking step by step action steps. And the action steps again aren't the end goal. It's very different. So we work with our clients and they're like, what do you want out of life? I don't know. Okay, well, let's figure it out. What inspires you? What wakes you up? Let's set something you can work towards. Then we'll reverse engineer and come up with a plan so you have something to look forward to. Because if you don't have something to look forward to, and that's the holistic picture. We're a holistic company, not just a weight loss company. You have to look at, you could be looking at finances, you could be looking at relationships, and you're looking at your health. In most cases, that's the full picture, the three struggles that most people deal with in their life. So as you get through to being the person you want to be, maybe you have better relationships in your life. Maybe you're more financially secure. That's what I'm talking about. As you embody a new person, you have that confidence, you have that mindset. You're doing different things than waiting in a line at the pharmacy, right? You're a different person, so you have to be that person and you have to live that person. And again, that's terrifying to a lot of people. So hopefully that helped. I'm going to wrap things up here, but it's entirely different. Like this is different training or different coaching than probably a lot of people have heard. But that's because most companies stop at your goal weight and probably hope you gain your weight so you come back, right? We want to get you past that stage so you can live healthy and vibrant. And that's how I would measure. I said this before, but that's how I would measure my success of how many people we've helped people hit their goal weight and keep it off forever. And I run into them 3, 5, 10 years later and they still look amazing. That probably wouldn't make me, I don't know if anything would make me feel better than that. So if you guys have any questions about our program, we have our Metabolism Accelerator program. You can shoot me a message. We just did a big launch kind of with our 14-day challengers. I'm not sure if we'll do that again. I don't know if that's a one-time thing. We'll see how that comes. We're only 1 week in. So if you're interested in some type of shorter-term challenge, we could talk about it. But I mentioned before, you need to have that. You need to have that mindset of, I want to see results long-term, not just join something short-term. So at any rate, if I can help you out with anything, shoot me a DM or comment below and we'll start the conversation. Regardless, hopefully these steps give you an idea of what it takes to get to that next level. Stop yo-yo dieting, drop weight and keep it forever. Embody that person. That's what it's going to take. Thank you all for joining live. Thank you if you have been watching the replay. Last comment here is D said, this is a good one. We'll have to go back and watch the beginning. Yeah, I would highly suggest. And we're going to do more training. So we're having more and more of our clients get closer to this stage, get closer to the stage 1, and we're transitioning them into the phase 2, which is the maintenance stage to keep the results. And there's so much to it. There's emotional to it. There's getting rid of old clothes, getting rid of those emotions that clothes don't fit you anymore. Like, why are you keeping those clothes in the closet? So you can go back to them. Like, don't give yourself steps back. We're looking for steps forward. So at any rate, we're going to be doing more coaching with this within our private group D as we move forward. So at any rate, have a great evening or a great day whenever you're watching, and we'll catch up with you soon. Bye, everyone.